Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Anupama, Medical Officer working at National Institute of Naturopathy, Pune. On behalf of the entire team of NIN, I welcome you all. We all know that 21st of June is declared as the International Day of Yoga by our Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi in 2014. Since then, our institute has been actively organizing various events related to yoga as well as health to inspire the public to continue the practice of yoga. Even last year, during the pandemic, we conducted it virtually, and many of you were a part of it. This time, for IDY 2021, National Institute of Naturopathy, in association with Regional Outreach Bureau, Maharashtra and Goa, is conducting a series of webinars where many health aspects and relevance of yoga will be dealt. Also, a topic on COVID and post-COVID care will be included in this discussion. To get the upcoming updates, please follow the National Institute of Naturopathy Pune Facebook page. You will be getting all the updates of the webinar in this page. Same like 2020, we will be conducting yoga events beyond June 21st, and this is to inspire and remind you to practice yoga on every day and make that a part of your lifestyle. So for today's session, today's webinar will be on topic post-COVID rehabilitation through yoga, as this is one of the relevant topic to be dealt during this pandemic. And for the discussion, we have with us an experienced speaker, Dr. Kamaraj Rajendran, who treats COVID patients as well as post-COVID cases. Before getting into the session, we will have a short Patanjali Yoga Sutra chanting with its meaning.
Pratyakshanumanagamah pramanani. Right perception arises from direct observation or analysis or by correct reference. This is the meaning of the sutra. The definition of pramana, that is the first vritti. Here, Maharishi Patanjali alerts the seekers that we have to learn how to recognize when our intellect functions in this mode of mindset. We all know that false information results in false conclusion, which leads to incorrect insight. Patanjali says it is the same with reference also. If the reference is wrong one, if we refer to a wrong book or to a wrong person, or if it is inaccurate, even the use of it will lead to false conclusions, which will have a bad effect or impact on our life. For true perception, that is pramana, one must have an accurate intellect and also have accurate information from outside his intellect. Correct perception may be acquired directly only if the person has a reality perceiving intellect and is in the proper position to use it. So let us implement the right perception in our day-to-day life. Viparyayo mityajnanamadhadhruva pradishtam. Misperception is false knowledge not based on what actually is. This is the second classification of vritti, that is viparyaya, meaning misperception or indiscrimination. That is mistaking one thing for the another. Here, Maharishi Patanjali says the willingness of the buddhi organ of an individual in accepting the information given to it by the senses is the root of the problem. Here, the seekers should break the reliance of buddhi on the sensual energies by practicing pratyahara, that is withdrawal of the senses, which is fifth stage of Ashtanga Yoga. Here, Patanjali also gives us the solution to overcome the viparyaya, that is misperceptions, through the practice of pratyahara. Thank you.
Moving on to the session, post-COVID rehabilitation. To speak about the topic, we have with us Dr. Kamaraj Rajendran, also to share the experiences and challenges in handling COVID cases and post-COVID rehab. So, Dr. Kamaraj has been practicing yoga since the age of 14, covering a wide range of styles, which includes Hatha Yoga, Ashtanga Vinyasa Yoga, Shivananda Yoga, Acro Yoga, etc. He holds a Bachelor of Naturopathy and Yogic Sciences (BNYS) from Dr. MGR Medical University in Tamil Nadu. He also has done his internship in our esteemed National Institute of Naturopathy, Pune, as well, Nisargobachar Nature Cure Ashram. He have completed his master degree in yoga from Bharatiyar University, Tamil Nadu. He also holds Ayurveda Panchakarma and Special Therapies of Kerala accredited from Kerala Ayurvedic Hospital, Cochin. Dr. Kamaraj established Yogmandala in 2007 in Varkala with the goal of being able to share his extensive practices in both yoga and holistic care with a wider audience. He is also the director and well-being consultant at Namaste Ayurvedic Mission from 2007 to 2015. Since May 2020, Dr. Kamaraj has been volunteering to government COVID care centers in Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Presently, he is the founder director and wellness consultant at DRK Wellness Limited in UK and also runs Yoga Mandala Yoga Naturopathy Holistic Wellness Center in Bristol, UK. Besides being an expert in establishing overseas entrepreneurship, Dr. Kamraj is a specialized physician in training COVID patients and various conditions like stress, anxiety, depression, osteoarthritis, PCOD, and various psychosomatic diseases. Sir, a very warm welcome from the entire team of NIN to this series of webinar we are conducting for spreading awareness about International Day of Yoga. Welcome you, sir.
Namaste, Vanakkam, everyone. Thank you very much, Dr. Anupama, for introducing. And thank you very much. It's my pleasure to join and do this adventure with the NIN and NIN team. I'm very happily getting involved with you all. Of course, this is the very important moment that we all facing through this pandemic period, the COVID-19. The whole world is struggling. All the humanity is struggling. We're trying to stand up as much as we can to help and support and heal. There are so many professionals who is working behind. I'm really thankful to them. My prayers, my wishes, my gratitude to each and every one who is supporting and who is standing up to save this humanity. In my experience as a yoga naturopathy, I'm more found into the yogic lifestyle. I attended many patients and I created a lot of as I've been a experienced professional in yoga, I would like to share some of the knowledge which helped the people so far. It's all through the experience only I'm expressing here. So the COVID care, like people get affected more emotional background, more mental background than the physical background. What I seen in my experience, what I seen in the hospitals when I was working, there are many sicknesses, many serious cases caused by the psychological stress or fear or anxiety or depression, which is lower down their immunity, which lower down their vitality. So the infection spreads more faster. And there have been like a lot of complications created in the background. The real virus, I don't know, in my experience, the real virus didn't kill as much as people, then the fear killed. So the rehabilitation, when we overcome the rehabilitation, when we treat the trauma, people who got really serious trauma during the recovery period or during the hospitalization or even the vaccination, after the vaccination, people are having many people having the side effects, which is called long COVID in Western countries, they call. In India, we still continuing with the medications and sufferings. So the long COVID or COVID rehabilitation is very important. Any virus infection has a certain side effect in our system. This long COVID, especially it affects our lungs, our prana, our vital forces. So we must take a good care and good recovery from this infection. The medicines works certain limits, certain levels, and afterwards we have to wake up our own system. We have to wake up our own energy levels. The basic principles of naturopathy and yoga, the first principle is increase the vitality. Increasing the vitality will increase your immunity, will increase your mental peace, will increase your uh, life force energy as well. So increasing the vitality, there are few different techniques we can practice allied with yoga, naturopathy, and many alternative systems. Now, nowadays, the Siddha, Ayurveda, and homeopathy, Unani medicines also working along with this pandemic period. You can combine and make the best way of recovering from this period, this situation. The rehabilitation takes very important role, how you are proceeding yourself. There are many different symptoms you have. The first one is people who got like so much trauma and so much stress and so much anxiety and the fatigue because of congested isolation and being in the hospital with a mask on and all the time there are so much like a mental stress is going on, and it carries out even after recovering from the disease, from the virus. It is being carried out, and they are still in the shock. They are still in the stress that the system is like being struggling to recover from it. There are few techniques in breathing exercise. There are few meditation techniques and a few tapping techniques. The natural techniques definitely helps to recover and restore your vital system. And it is more important to keep up the practice. If you gain naturally to revitalizing yourself, that is a long-lasting recovery. If you take any supplements or any shortcut like medications, and it will keep you up only certain period of time, and again it will take you back to the trauma. So treating the root is the proper way of eliminating the issue, eliminating the problem which is continuing from the COVID infection. How to treat the root? First, find out the root. We need to see whether it is a physical, like the lung infection is causing the long COVID, or the real trauma is causing the long COVID. How can you find out this? Only the way you consult with the professionals, like yoga naturopathy doctors or Siddha Ayurveda doctors, or even you can go to the psychological counseling. That's well good enough to find out what caused you into this the fatigue symptom or the foggy kind of illnesses. Some people are after the vaccination, they got into these symptoms as well. And in my experience, until they know it is positive, people are so fine. As soon as they know, as after the test, I got the COVID infection, even the well vitalized, well healthy person goes into like real stress and depression, and they get all the symptoms overnight. they get into all the illnesses overnight, and next day they completely collapsing, or in a few days. So the psychology plays very important role in recovering this pandemic situation. Of course, the social media has been really unvitalizing people's health. We cannot avoid at the moment because we are living in the technology world. But we can overcome. If any external stimuli, for example, the mRNA which is injected through vaccination, that can trigger your DNA, and it wakes up the consciousness of your DNA to release the immunity. This is how the vaccine works. So the vaccination is not the immunity. The vaccination help you to stimulate, to wake up your immune system in your body. So if the yogic path in the yoga professionals can train others to wake up your immune consciousness. Is it possible? Yes, of course. This is what the yogic philosophy is, the yogic principle is being aware and being conscious and being control and regulating your own system by regulating the universal system. So if the conscious communication is being born, is being created, is being regulated within yourself, of course you can vitalize to increase the vitality, to increase the circulation, and to eliminate the toxic, to eliminate the unwanted materials in your body. Either it's a virus, it's a bacteria, it's a fungal, or it's like unwanted toxins in your body. So the basic principles, again, we can apply in the practice of COVID care. In my experience, I teach few techniques that I'm going to express you right now. I divide into 8 stages. The main principle of the key points that we are using to treat people is, the first one is eliminate the fear, eradicate the fear, and reduce and eradicate the stress, then increase the vitality. Some nutritional balance, simple exercise, and simple yoga practices, some naturopathy follow-up, like day-to-day life, which is our daily routine life, very healthy life. Techniques I can express is like 8 stages. The first stage, to reconnect yourself, scanning your body head to toe and listening part by part, time to time. Every day, at least 5 to 10 times a day, take a moment, like 2 minutes or 1 minute, just follow your breath, passing into each every part of your body. Try to communicate, try to talk to your body, try to talk to your system. You can divide the systems, like your respiratory system, your digestive system, hormonal system. So there are many systems in our body. Listen to the system and pause the prana, pause the breath into each and every system, and scan your body head to toe. That is creating a bondage, creating a communication that helps you to recover from any issues in your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual being. The second stage is of our deepest tradition, Indian tradition, which is called Tattu Varma. It's one of the Varma technique. We have 72,000 of nadis, and every nadis has the connection with your skin. When you tap onto the skin, consciously when you communicate and tap and wave the nadis, that helps you to stimulate, that helps you to activate the nadis. So when the body tapping therapy, you're going to tap on each every part of your skin, your body skin in a certain flow. That helps you to wake up all the nadis and balance the vital forces. The third technique is improving the lung capacity. Okay? Proper breathing techniques. So the left lung has two lobes, the right lung has 3 lobes. So the lower lung, middle lung, upper lung. So dividing into 3 parts of the lungs and exercise individually, and then you can connecting all the 3 lungs together to trying to activate each and every air sac in your lung. The COVID infection spreads very easy from the unused lungs part. The normal common person using only 40% of your lung capacity. The rest of 60 to 50% is being unused. The virus goes and stays the unused space and try to spread their colony. If you start moving the lungs, if you start exercising the lungs, moving the lungs, with that friction, the COVID virus cannot sustain. So the COVID virus cannot sustain your bloodstream. It cannot sustain any part of your other organs. Only it can sustain the unused lung parts. As long as you improve the lung capacity, as long as you exercise for the lungs, the COVID virus eliminates, and the recovery also, whatever the crystallization happen in your lung, and it restores, it regain its own abilities back into normal function. So this is the third stage, improving the lung exercise. And the fourth one is oxygenating exercise. After the lung exercise, then you pump into more oxygen level into your blood by breathing in deeply and breathing out from mouth. This is one of the breath technique. It's called breath work. It's very famous in Western countries. They're doing really great level in this practice. So like 1 minute to 3 minutes, you should not do any more, because when you had an infection and after the recovering infection, you should not get tired of any practice. With the food, do not eat too much to get tired. Over exercising or over yoga or any kind of over stressing, whatever makes you lethargic, whatever makes you tired, you have to avoid that activities, even with the breathing exercise as well. That is why in professionally, Kapalabhati and Bastrika, we try to avoid practicing it during the COVID infection and just after recovery from the COVID infection. Because during the practice of Kapalabhati Bastrika, it is really high generating heat and vitalizing, and it's like waking up. Every action has the reaction. In the reaction period of the Kapalabhati Bastrika and the lung practice, vital energy automatically from the high to low slows down. That is good for recovering period of COVID infection. So try to avoid that practices as a professional point of view. Anything with very mild, very simple and steady progress of increasing your vitality is a healthy way of recovering. So the lung oxygen improving capacity practice is the fifth one. And then the sixth one, we divide our body into three different stages: the lower body, the middle body, the upper body. In Ayurveda, in Siddha concept, we have the air body, fire body, and water body. Air element, fire element, water element. So it's elemental balancing exercise. So you chanting, dividing the Om into three parts. The air body is A, the fire body is U, the kapha body, the water element body is A, U, Im. So you chanting three different times. Then you chant Aum together. That the elemental balancing. Of course, the vibration, the frequencies breaks down to the stress level within the cell, within your molecules, and it releases the unwanted stress, and it activates, it reactivates the energy, and it balances your three basic elements of your body. So this also balancing your body, balancing your emotions, balancing your mental stress, and it calms down. It soothes the nervous system. It activates the vagal nervous flow. The next stage is the sixth stage, which is dividing our body into three different levels: the lower body, body, upper body. In Siddha, in Ayurveda, the traditional ancient medicine system has a three major elemental constitution, which is air, fire, and water element. The air element body, first two chakras to the lower body, below the hip. The fire elements, the third and fourth chakra, your abdomen, chest, the hands, up to fingers. The water element is your head and neck, the fifth and sixth chakra, and the five sensory organs, the Jendras. When the element is being balanced, of course, it eliminates the unwanted stress. It removes all the molecules, all the small stress molecules in your body, and it opens up. It harmonizes the elements and balances the vital force, and it relays the organal functions properly. So the lower body is the A, middle body is U, upper body is M. When you chant, and the vibration, the frequency will balance the element, balances your body functions, and increases the strength of your immune system. So AUM divided by time, then AUM together, connecting all the three elements together. This is the sixth stage of practice. After the sixth stage, you just sit in a silent and just observing and reacting, observing the hormonal reaction. The next seventh step, the Brahmary Pranayama, which is the most powerful pranayama. It's been wide-rangely practiced around India and around other countries. This is the restoring the five sensory system. The COVID infection affects your nervous system, especially the smell, the taste, the dump, the heaviness in your head. Somehow it impacts your five sensory system. Restore and to regain your sensory system, the Brahmary Pranayama played very good role. Either as a beginner, you can plug your ears with the index finger, or you can connect with your five sense system. The thumb is your earring, the index finger is your eyes, then the nose, and upper lip, lower lip. So you just like simply touching the five sensory organs. Touch therapy, the touch healing helps you to reconnect, and you create the sound, the humming bee sound, or the buzzing sound, like buzzing sound. That resonation, the resonate sound will heal your sensory organs. At the same time, it soothes your nervous system to eliminate the stress, anxiety, depression. This is very powerful practice. 5 times to 10 times continuously you practice. Every day, like 3 to 5 times, you can practice this. 3 to 5 sets of times you practice. Very effective practice pranayama for COVID period. Then the last technique, the eighth technique, as we divided our body into 3 levels as the 3 power plants. So you divide your breath into 4 stages. The first stage, inhale a little bit and hold. Then second inhale, middle body hold. Then third inhale and hold. Then fourth inhale, hold. Then complete exhale. 4 time inhalation, 1 time exhalation. Very powerful wake-up practice. So all this previous from the first till 7 practice, what happened is that the energy when you practice it goes up and then it down, it goes up, it is down. So every practice we have to keep up the reaction, the secondary reaction phase. So every time when you do the little bit of breathing practice, it keeps on expanding your prana, your lung capacity, your vital forces, and soothing the nervous system and eliminating the stress and anxiety. So for the last stage, to prolong this effort, so you inhale 1 time, exhale 1 time. So this you continue for minimum 5 times to 10 times according to your breath capacity. So it keeps up another few hours, like a 3 to 4 hours, whatever the practice you've been doing, and it keeps you up and it keeps you light and harmony. Before this practice or after this practice, inhaling, inhalation will definitely help you to enhance the effect of this yogic techniques. Anything overdoing the practice also not healthy at the moment, or not doing it also not healthy. So as long as you do certain effective techniques to improve your lung capacity, reducing the stress, eliminating the fear and anxiety, increasing the vitality is the best way of keeping up and prevent rehabilitation of COVID infection period. Shall I do the exercise, doctor?
Yes, sir.
So I take 10 minutes to show like quickly how it is done.
Yeah. Okay, sir. Yes.
I teach you the 8 techniques. How to do this? Very quick methods, just like a little bit of introduction. This whole technique will take minimum of 25 minutes. When you practice this like a 3 times to 5 times a day, definitely it will change your whole system, whole mechanism. The first stage, as we said, body scanning. So simply closing your eyes, just following breath, passing your head to toe. And the second technique is starting from the clap your fingers and hands like a few times. You clap, you just clap and stimulate the reflex points in your hands, your fingers, stimulating, and then tapping on the lung side, lung point, and then the colon point, another lung, then the heart and pericardial meridian side, then tapping on the upper hand, lower hand, and the wrist squeezing and massaging. Simple technique to warm up your hands. Tapping the head, the hair root, each and every hair root, the scalp. Use your fingertip to tap back up and slowly come into the front. In your forehead, around the eyes, your nose, the neck, and around the ears, and squeezing the eyebrows from inside out, like 2 to 3 times. This is really good stress relieving. You feel so relaxed after squeezing and touching the eyebrow. And pinching the ear, the auriculotherapy. You use your index finger and thumb, gently pinching each and every part, each and every detailed part of your ears. Just squeeze it and release it. It activates and stimulates the internal reflex organs. And pulling the ear down, pulling the ear up, pulling the ear sideways, and few rotations inward, backward. Very good. Then after, starting from the shoulder, you tap all the way the hand down and up. When you go to the wrong page, the side length. As you right page, you tap as you clap, to the side of the capacity. Change the hand and down, and tapping downwards, upward, and going back to the side of the length. Like you clap and tap, that helps you vibrate in the middle of the chest. This is where your thymus gland is, where all the immune system is regulated. Your immune system, the center of your immune system is the thymus gland. You start tapping the thymus gland. It helps you to wake up. It helps you to improve the capacity. If you close your eyes and start, you can feel the breath capacity is improving. So the living energy for energy tapping as well. Like for example, when you have the breathing difficulties, if you're tapping like this rigorously, like continuously for like 5 minutes, and you feel the relief. If you're really stressed, if you're really start tapping this area for a while, like 1 minute to 2 minutes, you feel the difference because it improves the lung capacity as well. And tapping to the side and going to the liver, just clapping the liver, the pancreas, descending colon, clockwise, always clockwise, 3 rounds, around the abdomen organ, then slowly going down, the pelvic area, tapping to the side, into the lower back, bending forward, tap the kidney. The importance of tapping kidney. The kidney is the stress holding organ. It takes all your stress and your emotions and storing and trying to eliminate. So you tap the kidney and little rub on the kidney area, the lower back, and then slowly tap backward down from the kidney to the side, the knees, behind the top of the foot, and in the front, tap from the front of the foot, the top of the foot, the knees, the thigh, and go to the sidewise, tap down, pull down, and tapping inside, all the way up, coming to the solar plexus. Standing in the solar plexus and giving a few tap movement, then take it out and relax. You feel all the tingling sensation, all the electric movements, the sympathetic parasympathetic nervous system is activating, is waking up. It wakes up all the nadis, all the energy points in your body, the nervous system. The next stage, the third stage is lung improving capacity. After the tapping, we take the 3 stages along lung improving. The lower lung is crossing your fingers and put your hands in the lower side. While you breathe in, you stretch your hand forward. Breathe out, take your hand back. Breathe in, stretch your hand forward. Breathe out, take back. Likewise, 5 times. And then the middle lung, take the hand on the forehead. While inhale, stretch your hand forward. Exhale, take back. Inhale forward. Exhale, take back. Likewise, 5 times to 10 times. Depends on your body capacity. So try not to do over tiredness. Just do it as simple as you can. Inhale, stretching above for the upper lung. Exhale, release down. Inhaling, stretching up. Exhaling, release down. And then the fourth stage is connecting all 3 lungs together. Inhale, letting the hand all the way up. Exhaling, releasing down. Inhaling up all the way. Exhaling, releasing down. Likewise, 5 times. So this is the third stage. Afterwards, if you have a little bit of energy, you're not too tired, and the COVID, you're not having too much fatigueness, then you can do certain breathing stretching asanas or breath stretch yoga classes. Otherwise, you simply lie down or sitting position, come to the sitting position, and you practice the next stage. Next stage, as I said, the oxygen improving practice, the breathwork practice. Inhale through the nose, and exhale through the mouth. Inhale as much as you can, and let go and release. Likewise, you practice with 10 times, and then you improve the next day 15 times, and next day 20 times. If you suddenly practice in the first day, of course, there's a lot of cramp and a lot of like electric movement inside you can feel, which also can give a reverse healing process. So better start with the gentle, and then you improve day by day. This is the fourth. And then the fifth one is the AUM that we already inhaling, counting A for the lower body. Minimum 3 times likewise. You chant A, and then moving to the middle body. Feel vibrations spreading from your heart. Relaxing, restoring, regulating the middle body, balancing the fire element. Then the upper body, Akara, sound. Really feel the deep vibration slowly spreading from the middle of the brain to throughout the head and neck area. Now connecting the three bodies together, Aum. Feel the vibration transforming from the lower body to higher body, the raising the sea. So after the time, giving a little space, observing the reaction. Action has the reaction. When you practice yoga, you consciously observe action and you give a rest and consciously observe the reaction. So these two cases have to be observed very carefully to achieve, to observe the fruitfulness of yoga practice. After the AVM, sensory restoring pranayama, the Brahmary Pranayama. Either you plug your ears with the index finger, or if you are able to, you can cover the 5 elements. Once you cover your ears with 5 elements, you don't see any visions and you don't hear anything. You go more inward and you go deep connected inside. And then you bend it a little bit and keeping your throat, jaw, everything is relaxed and creating the same sound. Like this, you can do minimum 3 rounds up to 5 rounds. The practice should be as long as possible and as steady as possible. It's not like when you tip in, when you do like really loud and then slowing down the loud sound. So make sure according to your capacity, either you can chant only 5 seconds, it's okay, but try to be same rhythm from the first second till the second. That voice you need to regulate your practice. Some people can do like 20-30 seconds continuously. It depends on their skills. Of course, you can start very simple and then every day practice, you can increase your practical method. So after the Brahmary Pranayama, you keep your eyes, ears and everything closed and stay for a little while. Observe the reaction. Then release the hand and surrender. And the last practice. As I said, inhaling 4 times, exhaling 1 time. So inhale little 1, hold, then second inhale, hold, then the third inhale, hold, then deep inhale through the body, retain, exhale. Inhale 1, inhale 2, inhale 3, 4 inhale, exhale. You practice like that. Likewise, you can practice minimum of time up to 10. Depends on your days and time that you would like to provide for yourself. These are the 8 stages of sequence that discussing with many yoga Nitropathy doctors, we created the sequence and it's been successfully practiced for more than a year. In my own experience, I have taught these practices for many long COVID, the COVID rehabilitation patients. It is really, really successful. Some of them has been great. They regained very quickly. Some people had the long COVID infection more than a year. Somebody infected last April month, and it has continued for a year. And they are recovering very fast. Especially the stress and the trauma. When it takes long time, when it is your body, when it's soaked into yourself for a long time, and it becomes very chronic, very complicated to recover. So please take a chance to recover as quick as possible and as easy as possible to keep yourself clear from the from the reaction from the side effect of COVID infection. This practice, how many times you can do? Minimum of 3 times. If you had an infection, if you're currently going through the infection, you must do it 5 times a day. If you are recovered from it, then you can do 3 times a day. And before you go to bed at night time, you must practice yoga nidra. No matter you're well sleeping, you're not sleeping, the yoga nidra is very important. And there are so many recorded versions available on YouTube or any other yoga schools or follow. Please listen to your earphone and train yourself. When you are really able to analyze your own, then you can do your self yoga, which takes you minimum of 15 minutes to 1 hour. You can do yoga nidra. But this is very important practice at the moment. Everybody should be practicing yoga nidra before bed. And as soon as you wake up in the morning, you must practice like this. And if there's a little diet, I would adjust. Especially there is the naturally yoga doctors and Ayurveda doctors. They created a really good healthy food that you can create a healthy meal, a plan, lesson plan in the morning till night. How you can eat healthy and increase vitality through the daily kitchen herbs. The sequences are available. Please follow those sequences. The simple sequence is like the herbal kashaya, we call the sukku coffee or like ginger tea, which is like drinking every day. The salt water gargling, the stimulation 3 times a day, and the turmeric milk. If you don't drink milk, you can only the turmeric with honey or with jaggery or palm sugar. That is more healthy. The licorice stick available, ashwagandha stick, and you can soak into the like a 1 inch of stick. You soak into the hot water for 20-30 minutes. You can chew it like a bubble gum. That is a very good immune boosting, utilizing agent. That's a kitchen herb. And the mint tea is very helpful. When you extract the fresh ginger juice and mix equally with the honey and take 1 lemon, like a 10 ml of ginger juice, 10 ml of honey, and 5 ml of lemon, and take it as a shot in the morning. That's more than enough for the whole day. It eliminates the gas, it eliminates somewhat toxins in your body, and it regulates your whole digestive system, and it enhances your breath capacity as well. And having a eucalyptus oil or camphor oil, and just dip it a little cotton and keep in your hand, time every 1 hour, smell it. That is like a really good expectorant that helps you to your breath clear. And you can put the holy Bible like tulsi leaves. If you don't get the tulsi leaves, tulsi oil, drop of tulsi oil in the steam inhalation. That's really good. And the pepper, the black pepper. If you have a little congestion, a little breathing difficulties, keep the 2 or 3 black pepper in your mouth and slowly soak in and chewing it. That's clear all the mucus, all the congestions in your lungs, in your bronchioles. So these are the tips. There are many tips. If you go to the consultation with the dietitian, they will tell you what's the best thing according to the condition that you're going through right now. The Nitropathy treatments, especially it's called mud pack. This time of the time, the cold compress, the wet towel on the stomach and the wet towel on the head and eyes will release a lot of congestions, and it helps you to regulate your system, especially the liver, pancreas, spleen, stomach. As well as like balancing liquor. You know how to make a abdomen pack and eye pack? Might you can do it, or you can just simply with a cold towel you apply on the head and then and then your stomach, upper stomach, upper area. So these are the suggestions so far helpful to practice. Practice every day. Even you feel healthy, try not to get weakness. Try not to get tired. The tired is the main key for the spreading virus. Do not make your system tired. Do not make your body tired. Try to keep the stress away. Try to keep the fear away from you. Then you will be, we all will be successfully overcome this pandemic. Thank you very much. If any questions or any tips needed, please ask. I'm happy to.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir, for sharing the knowledge and experience in handling COVID cases. We do have some inquiry questions. The first question is, how do you identify the patients needing rehabilitation after COVID-19? As you said, in UK, more of long COVID cases are there. So, how do you identify the need of rehabilitation in such patients?
That's a good question. Thank you. Any viral infection has its reaction in our body, in our system, one way or other way. Maybe straight away, straight away right now, or later on, after 5 years, 10 years also, there are like a viral reaction will comes out in our body. It depends on our vital process. So rather than waiting for the problem to arise, to eliminate the reaction of the infections, any imprints, if any viral infection has, it has a certain imprints in your system, in your vital system. So it's good to eradicate, it's good to eliminate the imprints of infection. Either it's a trauma, either it's psychological, either it's a physical, either it's organal, or either it's energetical form. It's good to eliminate. So to identify that, you have to consult with the doctor. Or you know it. Either you have after the vaccination or after infection, you know the virus. So the test says negative to the COVID, but still you have the lethargy problem, or still you have like a fogginess, or still the sensation loss is not completely recovered. They feel the taste something, they have difference between the previous and after the infection. So the taste buds or the smell is not completely recovered. Some people have the tinnitus or like some thump in the hearing. It's not clear in their ear. Likewise, there are a few other symptoms also. So the identification is like the secondary reactions of the COVID.
So, post-COVID rehab, we have seen the physical symptoms that you were treating. So, the mental health issues post-COVID, patient might get memory problems, or they might get trouble in concentrating, or there will be mood swings, rapid mood swings in such patients because they have underwent some traumas during their isolation time or quarantine time. So, how do we take care of such cognitive part through rehabilitation through yoga?
Cognitive is a very important role at the moment. As we said, anything which the impression or the memory will be carried out in our nervous system,
Yes.
in our memories and in our belief system. So, as I said, more than infection, the fear of the infection, the fear of the pandemic, people affected a lot. So there is a big trauma behind it. So anything you treat with your neurological recoveries, anything you treat with the stress and anxiety recoveries, like as I said, the Brahmary Pranayama, the Aum, and the breathing, increasing the vitality and eating the proper nutrition. Sometimes the lack of nutrition also plays a lot of role in our mental illnesses. So this is the time to take care of ourselves. By regular practice of this yoga and recovering from the stress and anxiety, especially keep yourself away from the social media. That will definitely help you to the cognitive cases. For example, you recovered and you feel good. As soon as you see there is a second infection, the second wave is coming, or it's killing so many people, and people going so chaos and they cannot control. Especially if you hear there's someone in a long way, your relative or friends of friends, and someone passed away because of it, and they think like the whole world is going to be collapsed, isn't it? So we all networked with one on each other, so it does affect. All the trauma releasing practice will be definitely useful. Even you don't, it's better to prevent than waiting for the stress and trauma to come in to cure it. It's good to practice this kind of simple meditation techniques.
Okay, any specific kind of meditation that can be practiced?
At the moment, the pure meditation, sitting in the silent and stillness, is not possible because of what we are going through. So guided meditations, like a chanting meditations or like a mindfulness meditations, or like what we did, the breathing, the breath connecting meditations, or movement meditations nowadays really good. There are a lot of movement meditations available. I would recommend those things.
Okay, sir. Last question. It is not related to COVID. Question is how teaching yoga is regulated in UK. Does it has any regulatory body which allow to practice and teach yoga?
It's a quite a broad question to express. As as a professional in yoga and naturopathy, in India we have a very strong regulatory body. As a difference between the yoga doctor and yoga teacher, yoga professionals and yoga trainers and teachers. In England, they don't have such a profession here, and most of them, what I seen is they don't even know there is a professional degrees exist. So it's been a little bit of blindsided. The yoga is teaching and training and awakening or uplifting physical, mental, emotional, spiritual well-being. So it is a high quality profession than any other professions in the world. Within 200, 300 hours, it's been trained and it's been practiced and it's been passed on to others. So in England, there is a British Wheel of Yoga is there. They are doing a great service. Apart from that, there are many, many other small regulatory bodies. More than regulatory bodies, it's not considered as a health profession. So that's why it is being like a off-grid professional. There is the insurance companies. Once you have a certain hours of trained by certain qualified people, which is not again health professional regulatory bodies, and so you can get your insurance. Once you are insured, you are able to teach anyone or any certain levels. This is the tricky question to say. Even yoga is able to be regulated by the system. Is your physical, mental, emotional, spiritual training can be regulated by the system? If it is, then who is going to give the qualification? It's a big question.
Okay. Okay, sir. So one last question is, what was that challenge in treating COVID cases?
The toughest thing I faced it when I was in Chennai, when I was doing patients in the hospital, some private hospitals also I worked. The people give up. They decided, okay, this is the end of my life, and nobody's gonna help. They're counting their time to die. So some people are able to convey. Some people are able to give a counseling to recover, or like they started believing and waking up. But some people didn't. Especially they clogged the thing. Okay, COVID means death. There's no recovery. and that we couldn't help them, especially when they are in oxygen mask and life support, and it was difficult. The asymptomatic and mild symptomatic people are the most easy people to treat than the little serious condition. And of course, our people worked very hard to recover from a lot of serious cases, also one-to-one timing. The phase that we have is more than recovery, how we are facing after the recovery. The rehabilitation is very, very important at the moment. People must follow the healthy habits, healthy sequences from day-to-day life.
Thank you so much, sir. That was the last question. Thank you so much in finding time to spend with us, even during this busy schedule of yours.
Thank you very much. Actually, I am trying to help as much as possible to India at the moment. So there is a lot of doctors. We came together and we trying to teach live classes for everybody, so they can join in. It's hard to be taught by individually one-to-one. So there is what I thought right now, there will be a group classes, like so from the morning, lunchtime, evening, so they can choose particular time, they can choose the language, either English, Hindi or Tamil or other languages. Also we trying to get into the doctors involved. So rather than one-time practice is not enough. You have to practice 3 to 5 times, as I said. Then only the effect will be sustained and it can keep on progressing. 24-hour holding the one hour practice is not possible, and practicing 1 hour also very difficult. So practice half an hour, but divide in 4 times a day. That will be really easy and fast recovery from either COVID infection or either a post-COVID period also. So I hope everyone will stay safe, and then we will overcome the issue. I pray, and I do my best to help people around, and we all together. And it's not only the doctor's hand; it's the people, the general public has to be aware and wake up from it. And more than isolation, you have to vitalize yourself. You have to get back to your normal life. In our tradition, the human capacity of life is 280 years. The yogis, the ancient siddhis, the siddhas, they lived more than 200 years, 280 years. Some of them we would have read like 800 years, 1600 years. Some rishis lived like 16,000 years. These all we know. So our body has a capacity of 280 years. But look at us right now. After 40, 50 years, we think, oh, we give up. Okay, now just I need to count. And people are not ready to get the retirement age. They are retiring before the retirement age. So to overcome all this, please follow discipline, practice, and improve your quality of life by eating natural, eating healthy, and living organic life.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for spending your valuable time here with the entire NIN team and to the public. Hope the viewers is definitely got benefited from your and the guidance and sharing your explanation with the public. Thank you so much in spending time, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anupama. It's great pleasure to joining you all again. Have a great day. Namaste.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.